welcome to the show. Let us get on. Now, it is going to be a full day today, full show today. Let me give you a brief outline about what is planned. I'm going to go through the intel first, which I'm just going to, as soon as I finish this overview, I'm going into the intel. Lots of things happening. It looks like it's going to be very exciting in the following few days. After we've done the intel for a little while, then we're going to have a question and answer session on the intel, shorter than normal. We're going to limit it to probably an hour of question and answers. Then we're going into the third part, which is this live experiment. Now, what you need for the live experiment, I don't know why I'm seeing Laurit all of a sudden, but anyway, what you need for the experiment is to have 2 glasses like this. There can be wine glasses, and you need a bitter drink. Don't fill it up yet, just leave it in the bottle now. When I tell you to, fill both glasses. The rest I will tell you later. So if you haven't got 2 glasses ready now, you've still got some time to get them. And now I'm going to move into the intel. So first of all the messages I'm seeing are, it's about to start. The whole event is about to start. That means the 1st of April is the start of GESARA worldwide, NESARA in the USA, GESARA in. I'll take this off. I don't need to listen to anybody while I'm doing this. So GESARA in the rest of the world, NESARA in the USA. It looks like the world is going to start moving in that direction as of tomorrow, the 1st of April. I know there are some people in Australia who are already in the 1st of April, so I don't know what's going to happen there. We heard the news yesterday from our friend Mark Z. For me being British, I always tend to say Mark Z, but I know it's Mark Z. That they've already started paying out monies in Asia, and that is like the precursor for the rest of the world. That's basically like the last billions have been paid out, and it's our turn, unless you're already in Asia, but it's our turn at the beginning of April. We're talking about between the 1st and the 4th of April is when this is about to all start for us. It's getting serious, folks. So there are some things you need to do today, right? And I don't know if you'll be able to do it tomorrow. You can try. If you have any pictures, videos, files, anything in the cloud, particularly if it's on Google, on Yahoo, on Microsoft, or any of these other big server companies, if you have any important pictures, videos, whatever you've got, download them now. Get them off. Make your backups now, because once the switch is happened, it's likely to be gone, and you'll never get it back. So I cannot say it more. It's time now to do your backups. Get your stuff off everything which you're going to need, which is online at the moment. Get it now. Download it now. Don't wait till tomorrow after the show. Get round and download everything you can. Today is the last day of the cabal's corrupt control of the Federal Reserve and any banks worldwide which are not Basel III compliant. That means that they have enough gold to cover their assets. They're going to close down. They're going to disappear. The Petro Dollar, which has been going since the 70s or something, has come to an end today. And the countries which have a common currency, which is probably including the euro, where I am, those countries are going to be going back to their original countries. So here in Germany, it's going to be going back to the D-mark. In France, it's going to be going back to the franc. In Italy, it's going to go back to the peseta. Whatever currency you used to have in Europe, but this applies in other countries too. The other currencies will. Now, I haven't got a date when that is going to be effective. It could be the 1st of April. It could be the end of April. There's no date being given for the switchover, so I cannot tell you that. I'm just saying it is about to happen. The quantum financial system officially goes into full power, full effect on the 1st of April. It's been in preparation mode until now, but now it's getting serious, folks. What Mark Z reported was that there was an enormous amount of money moved in the Asian market, and that was the test of the QFS system. And that billions have been paid out on bonds at the high levels, and it looks like it's going to be happening as of the 1st of April for the rest of us in the Western world. We all know that Russia and China and other countries have already switched to the gold-backed currency. And it's only a matter of time before the rest of the world changes. Now, I'm not saying every country is going to switch on the 1st of April, but probably during April. At the moment, we've had so many dates given to us that have come and gone that it's very hard to promise anything on a date. A lot of this is event-driven. All we can say is we are very close now. So let me. Putin has given a deadline for dumping the US dollar to be the 1st of April. So in other words, they're basically saying to all the countries, if you have US dollars, dump them now by the 1st of April. I noticed today that when I wanted to get some money off my PayPal account, which was in dollars, it was frozen. I couldn't do that. Maybe it's something to do with me, I don't know, but that was something that I noticed. I wonder if anybody else noticed that. Now, what we're all waiting for is a notification for Tier 4B, which is us, the internet group, because that's when we are able to start applying for appointments to exchange our currency. And I'm told there isn't an exact date given that. It's going to be dependent on events. So whatever is going to be happening in the first days of April, that is going to be deciding when we get the appointments. So there's no fixed date for when we are going to be we're going to be informed. All we know is it won't be before the 1st of April. Well, there's not much of a 31st of March left. It could possibly between the 1st and the 4th of April, but that is not confirmed. It's just likely. The United States note, the new US currency, has been pegged to start at 12:01 on the 1st of April, US time. I don't know which US time zone that is, because it wasn't given, but that's supposed to be the switch to the US note, or the USDN as it's being called. But sorry, I don't have a time. I don't have the 12:01. I don't have the time zone. It just says 12:01 a.m. So which zone, I don't know. The emergency broadcast system is likely to be sending out messages on the 2nd or 3rd of April. And President Trump will be, as according to the reports I've seen, in Air Force One at the time. And when those messages go out, there'll be 7 messages going out. After that, expect your smartphones, your phones to go offline. So it's it's very dramatic what's going to be happening, and okay, it's not me saying this. I'm just saying it is the reports I'm reading, because I do a lot of research to find out what is happening, and this is what I am being told. So don't blame me if it doesn't happen, because we've had it plenty of times before that we've been told dates and didn't. But I think we're getting to the point that it's likely. Tax refunds are also due to come out, but they will be paid out over time, not in one go. In fact, the payouts could go into next year. So don't expect your tax payout to come immediately. It will take time. They probably have a lot of work to calculate what you're getting. The US national emergency, which the US has been under a long time, is due to end on the 10th of April. The Fiat US dollar has been bankrupted and will be phased out by September 2022. So the old Fiat US dollar is still usable until September 2022. But I think by then we'll all have wanted to exchange it for the real dollars by then. On Fox News, they actually reported about the watermarked ballots and to mass arrests and people being in barges in GITMO. That Fox News actually announced that is actually a sensation. Okay, it would be even more sensation if CNN reported it, but the fact that this is coming out on mainstream news is also an incredible thing. So let's just, I have to remember not to try and read everything again, just to go to the things which I bookmarked. Otherwise, we're going to be here for ages. NESARA is expected to deliver relief and restoration to the lawful population. That means redemption, security, and sovereignty will be restored. So we've been living in a strange world of legal fictions where we are a Mr. or Mrs. or a Ms. And that refers to a legal fiction, not you as a human being. When you were born, with your birth certificate was registered, that was the beginning of a corporation in your name, and that is how you've been doing business. Whenever you do business, in the name of Mr. or Mrs. or Miss, whatever, the legal fiction is who the business is doing business with, not you as a human being. We've covered common law before, and now that is going to end, and we're all going to become human beings, sovereign human beings again. That is part of the GESARA process. So in every country, as GESARA is rolled out, their constitution will be restored to the equivalent of the Constitution of 1776, the Constitution of 1776 in the USA, and something similar in other countries. In the UK, for example, based on the Magna Carta. So we're all moving back to that. So the whole world is going into NESARA. GESARA, the National Economic Security and Recovery Act, or the Global Economic Security and Recovery Act, has set a proposed economic reforms of the United States, as suggested in the 90s by Harvard Franz Barnard. Barnard claimed that the proposals, which include replacing the income tax with a national sales tax, abolishing compound interest of secured loans, and restoring to a bimetrical currency, would result in 0% inflation and a more stable economy. That's what we're heading into. And the quantum financial system is basically the replacement for the SWIFT system. It's designed to eradicate illegal dealings and make sure that the world is honest again in their financial things. Interest will be outlawed. There will be no more interest on loans, if even loans are available. We will not be wanting for money in the future. Unless you happen to be one of the crime families, then you could be in trouble. So, as to what is happening in Ukraine, I put a big line on this one. The Russian military correspondents handed over the second batch of vital medicines of the Volodyansk hospital. And my Russian is pretty poor, near Mariupol. Now, refugees who suffered from the inactions of Ukrainian militants and fighters of the DPR army are being treated. So, even General Flynn has said that Putin is derailing the new world order. I know that Putin is being vilified in our media right now, but in reality, he is doing a fantastic job for us. He's clearing up the deep state. He may be a little brutal in what he's doing, but the brutality is not against the Ukrainian people. It's against the deep state actors there, which have been doing terrible people to children, drug trafficking, baby trafficking, all the weapons, and bombarding the Donbass region with weapons. That's coming to an end. So, so what is happening now, what the military is still completing, is basically the greatest military operation of the world. I said it last time, I'm saying it again. As soon as you have enough funds, and that should be in April. I can't say exactly when, because it'll depend on when you get the individual appointments or when you can get to a bank to exchange the currency. But sometime in April, you should be getting funds, and I want you to go out and get food. And I'm talking about a year's supply of food. Food, water, any medical supplies you need, and try and hide it in a place where it's going to be safe. Because we can still buy foods now, but there is going to be a worldwide shortage in foods and goods. And the more we can prepare now, that should be the first thing you spend your money on. Making sure that you have supplies, because it's your survival depends on it. Obviously, we can't, having $1 million in the bank but no food is still pretty bad. Yeah. Here in Germany, we're running out of gas and oil supplies. So Germany is in trouble because they get most of their gas supplies, I think 60% of their gas supplies, from Russia. And Russia has said, you've got to pay in rubles, which is now gold back. And America doesn't, and Germany doesn't have that money, and they only have 30% emergency supplies. That means it could take a week or two, and then Germany has no more gas. We'll be pretty big, but it's all because of the local politics which are doing that. But the Ukraine war will have a effect on the global food supply, because fertilizer comes from Russia. Most of the world's fertilizer comes from Russia, created through gas, and they're not selling it except for hard currency. So we could be heading into a global famine. So you can't reiterate it enough. Secure your data now. When you get the money, secure your food for yourself and your family, whoever you can afford to keep alive. Yeah, and now there could be something which saves us from this. It could be that the deep state is also storing large supplies of food, but we just don't know. And we say over here, better safe than sorry. So any supplies you can get them. So let me just see what else I've marked. I've left the COVID stuff because I think we're more interested into the in the RV and what's happening right now. So yeah, I had a few pages here on on COVID, which I'm skipping. And so, according to Whiplash 347, who is pretty well informed, I'm told, expect the following things to be happening in the coming month. That planes and trains will be grounded. So if you have any train journeys or plane journeys which you need to do them quickly, because very soon they will no longer be operative, particularly while the cleanup operation is continued. It is possible that you will lose your electricity for at least a short period while the White Hats are switching over to the new Tesla free energy system. So the switchover will mean, you have no power for a few hours. So don't worry if that happens. When it comes back on, your energy is then free. 34 satanic buildings around the world, probably including their arch behind Billy, will be destroyed because of their satanic things. Also most likely is affected will be the White House, and in London, the Buckingham Palace. I do not have the full list of all 34 buildings. I'm sure there is one somewhere. I just have never found it.
White House go boom.
Bitcoin. If you got Bitcoin, get it out now, because the servers are going to be switched off, and your money, your Bitcoin tokens, will be worth nothing.
And Ethereum.
There's going to be a World War III scare event. You're going to hear in the media that we're approaching nuclear war. Don't worry, it's not going to happen. It is to wake up those who are refusing to wake up. There's going to be a water event. There's going to be a stock market crash. There's going to be global martial law while the military takes over and cleans up. Quantum systems and Project Odin will be started, and we're going to have the RV. There's going to be the elections in the USA are going to be flipped, and Biden will be out. Obviously, he should have been. He never got in.
Well, what's going to happen? Let me just make a point about that real quick, Peter.
Yep. Right.
All right. So what's going to happen under the original Constitution? You have the succession is president, vice president to the Speaker of the House. If those three are taken out, then it falls to the Secretary of State to inform the rest of the states that new elections need to be taken care of. Well, in this case, if Secretary Blinken is also implicated in whatnot, then it goes to the military, because then we have a dysfunctional government. All right. And that is, and because Washington, D.C. is a city-state that is over the rest of the continental United States, Alaska, and Hawaii, and the territories, we are being governed by a foreign power. All right. Now, this is where that little thing called 11.3 comes in the Q post. That is pertaining to the Law of War Manual. End of occupation. So if all of the Biden's cabinet is implicated, arrested for treason, crimes against humanity, blah, 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 then we have the dysfunctional government. The military comes in, establishes martial law under Article 11.3 of the Law of War Manual, and they have 120 days in order to set up new elections here in the United States that will be performed by the military and overseen by the military. So that's where it comes in, and that's also the little post. The military is the only way and have to do things by the book. That's what those Q posts were all about. Synopsis. Go ahead, Peter.
Right. Mike, now I have, where I'm sitting, I've got three screens. One to my left, one in front of me, and two of them have just gone black. So it looks like I've got a...
You're frozen. I can still hear you, but you're frozen.
I'm frozen. So what I...
Oh, now we just lost Peter. Your audio just...
I'm going to have to reboot the... I'm going to have to reboot and restart.
Okay. So I will take over from here. Right now, I'm going to get into some questions with people while we're waiting for Peter to come back. Okay. So Richard Beecroft, go ahead and unmute, sir.
Basically, thank you so much for doing all this. It's fantastic. My question is about the celestial chambers. Now we know about the med beds, but I'm hearing that there's something called a celestial chamber, which is apparently an advanced med bed. I was wondering if you had any comments about that, Billy.
We know about the med beds. I do not know too much about the celestial chambers. I have heard of them, but they are an off-world technology. Okay, the military will be running the med beds here in the United States, well, basically around the world. They will not be available to the general public for your centralized healing centers and things of that nature. You won't be able to purchase them or whatnot for quite a while because the military has those under control. The Galactic Federation has the Celestial Chambers, which is much more advanced. And those are being reserved for the most critically ill of us that are here on Earth. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yeah, it's a very good start for sure. And
Okay.
kind of along with that, there's something known as a replicator. I,
Oh yeah.
I'm giving to understand, but I know very little. I know I saw Star Trek and replicators, whatever,
hmm
but could you have any more info on that?
No, because the technology, the papers and whatnot have not been released. So all we can do is just wait for it. We've seen visions of it, obviously, in the Star Trek realm. It's predictive programming. It's telling you what's going to happen in the future. And both good and evil use those television shows, movies, and things of that nature to foretell the future to us and let it drip, 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 and let our imaginations wander and actually start to develop those technologies. Some of those technologies in those movies we have already seen come to pass. And it's not too distant future. We're going to see a lot more technologies come out. 6,000 different technologies that will be available to us, not to mention the cures and whatnot that'll be available through MedBed technologies and other holistic style of medicine instead of our petropharmaceutical industry right now. Okay? But
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Billy. I
all
hope
right.
you have a
Thank you,
great
Richard.
day.
You as well, sir. All right. Tony, looking very comfy there.
I am, thank you.
All right.
Uh,
What you got for us, Tony?
I've asked this a couple of times and I have not gotten a straight answer. Coin collections,
Yes.
that we have. I've got a couple 100 pounds of coins that I've saved over
Are
many
are
years.
they the silver content, older coins, or
Some are, yeah.
pure metal content? Okay,
Yep.
such as
I mean,
copper coins, the real copper pennies. Okay, are worth
yeah,
about 3.5 cents right now. So if you have a bunch of those, imagine getting 350% payout on your copper penny. All right, so
okay.
you follow me? All right.
Yep, I follow you.
Coins previous to 1965 had a much higher silver content to them.
Yep, yep,
Okay.
90%, 90-10 versus
Exactly. So
whatever
those are
it
going
was.
to be worth a lot more when the price of silver stops being suppressed. Okay.
During the RV, if I have, because I have some coins and some of them, uh, I during grading could be worth thousands. I got like a $2,000 penny.
Uh-huh.
Is Do I get to hang on to that
Well,
versus
yeah, you can hold on to whatever you want to. Now, here is the thing. There is real value and then there is perceived value in
sure,
things. Okay? Perceived value is something that is for an older coin that is very, very rare. Okay? Cannot be found many different places. There may be
in a
100
fine
of them left in
condition?
the world. That is perceived value.
Hmm.
Okay? Because of the rarity of it. On the other hand, there is the real value of what that coin has
The
in it,
metal.
the metal.
Yep.
Okay? So you have to remember between perceived and real value. Okay? It's kind of like a car. All right?
Sure.
You can see the auto auction and whatnot. The car itself has materials in it that are worth X amount of dollars. Okay,
So
but it's the perceived value of that car. You know,
I get it. So if I keep my 200 pounds of coins and the reval is over, everyone's done their exchange.
Yeah.
That whatever I'm sitting on is whatever it is. Eventually, based on where we're heading, I believe it's all going to be worth zero.
Well, yeah, I mean, no, it's not going to be worth zero. It'll be worth something. Okay.
Right.
It's just the question of real versus perceived value. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I'll keep it and move forward.
All right. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Caniche Moraz. Go ahead. Got to unmute your microphone there, Caniche.
Yes. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Thank you for what you are doing.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask because I couldn't buy Zim, but I've got one note of 5 billion, and it's AB series.
Okay.
Do you think this will be...
Hold on to the AZ series. I don't know for sure. I have been told they may overlook that. The as long as it's a 2008 AA or double A or AZ series.
Yes, I know, but
okay,
I couldn't get that.
Yeah, I understand.
Just in case.
Comprehend. Sorry, I keep wanting to use that stupid word.
Comprehend. Yeah.
Yes.
And another thing. Do you know anything about the banks in England? For instance, Lloyds Bank or Revolut is...
I would have to defer to Peter on that. I mean, I think the major banks, Barclays may be one of them. Okay. You know, like Wells Fargo here in the United States.
Yes.
We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. All we do know is in order to move forward, they do have to be Basel III compliant, which means that they have to have enough assets on hand in order to cover their debts. Okay? Most banks do not. All right?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Peter's getting everything set up again here. I can see him moving around. I'm just going to mute him for now. Okay. But thank you, Caniche. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Mary Perry. Hello, Mary.
Hello. Thank you.
All right. Love your background. You in a tropical place, or is that just your background?
Yes, that's for peace and soothingness.
There you go. There you go. Love it. Make sure there's no 5G tower in that palm tree, okay?
Right. Well, I've got my EMF.
Oh, you got your EMF thing? Where'd you get that from?
I bought it off of Telegram. They were selling it.
Okay. All right. Great. What you got for us today, Mary?
What I have for you today is Peter was talking about the abundance coming up, but he only was talking about the RV. And I do not have any coin. I don't have any kind of money to exchange. So whatever happened to the $5,000?
Oh, that's still coming. That's a $5,000 stipend for people 60 and older, whether you are retired or not. That is going to be an automatic thing. Okay. So that will start up right after the RV has been announced and everybody's on board with it. Okay.
So where is it coming from?
Where is it coming from? It is coming from our Treasury Department here in the United States. Okay. And various Treasury Departments that are around the world in various different countries, not from the Federal Reserve. Okay. But from our Treasury Department. Okay.
Okay, so
for your years of service to the country in whatever capacity you have served.
Right. Well, if it comes in a glint card, you can't deposit a glint card in your bank.
Well, no. I'm not. We don't know how it's going to be coming.
Oh.
It may be another. It may be another form. It may be something that's just deposited into your account.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. But you know, things are going to change. All right. We'll probably have. You know, like we have our ATM cards now in that, those will probably change, okay, to a different card of some sort or some sort of digital wallet you can access on your phone when we get the new Q phones in things that are coming out. So it's just a wait and see game for the information to be released, okay? But rest
Yeah, well-
assured, those plans are already in place. Okay.
Well, are the Q phones going to be as expensive as iPhones?
No, 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 not even close. And it'd probably be better than the technology, okay, than an iPhone has right now. All right,
Okay.
those are being produced by the military. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
does Peter have any further information on the token that Charlie was
As soon as he comes back, I'll have him talk about the token. Okay.
Well, I'm kind of here, but I'm only here on my smartphone at the moment. My PC is currently rebooting.
Okay.
And so I had to switch to my smartphone so I could listen into what you're saying.
Okay.
So I'm hopeful that my PC will be up and running very shortly, and I'll be able to come back fully at the moment. So at the moment, you can see that I actually have a green screen behind me, and I'm just assuming. I said, if I switch around my phone, you can see it's saying scanning and repairing drive C. So anyway, carry on, and I should be back with you shortly as soon as my PC is decided to fully reboot.
All right. Thank you, Peter. So, Mary, thank you for the questions. Appreciate it. Murray, I know you're in Tennessee. Okay.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Evening, good night.
Hey, this may have been covered already, but I'm curious to know about what sort of measures or what plan is in place to prevent the nefarious central bankers from taking over the QFS. We're going into something where there's one big, massive, good guy.
All right. So in today's financial system, the SWIFT system, you can send money to anyone, anywhere, at any time for any reason whatsoever. Okay. All right. Now, in the blockchain system, which is of the QFS, it actually tracks by serial number, okay, the amount of gold, precious metals, or whatnot that are transferred from one person or one entity to another, okay, and then it tracks the spending for those things, okay, in the blockchain system. And if they find out that things are going to all of a sudden support nefarious activities, okay, they will hunt those people down. All right. Yeah, it sounds like a little bit like Big Brother, but it's on the good side, not the bad side. Okay. We don't want, evil stuff being done with the money ever again. All right. So, and there's always going to be that element of evil in this world. Okay. And that we're going to have to root out. The big guys are taking out all of the major players and their minions and some of the minor minions. You're still going to have the street thugs out there. You're still going to have the gangs, the lower foot soldiers, if you will, all right, that you're going to have to help take out yourself. Okay. And, some of the people who are in positions of power in your local communities, like your mayors, city councilmen, sheriffs, police chiefs, and things of that nature that may be still under the influence of a cabal or whatnot, or doing nefarious activities. All right. Those people are going to have to be taken out. There is a Telegram channel that I recently joined. It's called the People's Bureau of Investigation. All right. And if you look at their notes that they have pinned up at the top of their channel, and I'll post that channel link here in just a moment in the chat. They are a group of people that want to go in and take out these bad actors on the city and local levels, okay, by writs and things of that nature, and a decree that was actually signed back in 2013. And this is under not the Admiralty Court that we know today, the law of the court. There is actually a court that is the Environmental Court here in the United States that doesn't fall under the jurisdiction of the federal courts here in the United States. All right. And it is called the Environmental Court. And under the Environmental Court, you can arrest, detain those people without having to go through the federal courts. You'll have to read a lot more about it. I could go into it, but you'll have to read more about it on their channel. I just posted it in the chat. I'll post it again. Their Telegram channel. But they are a group of people that want to help clean up locals. Okay?
Okay.
Does that all make sense, Murray?
Yeah, it does. It sounds like some great things are happening, and it just it meets our local areas and that sort of thing, and that's great. It just kind of, I was looking for the insight to long term, but I don't think we can actually see that. We just gotta be watchful and that sort of thing. I think because for the future infiltrators, I mean, like you're saying, there's a good chance that there'll always be some sort of evil, nefarious actors out there in the world, and we will need to keep an eye on these guys. And that's kind of what I was driving at. But the insight you gave was great. So,
all right, there's a lot of work to be done, and we're all going to have to stay diligent. All right.
Yeah.
Evil's not going to disappear overnight just because NESARA GESARA is hit. All right.
Yeah.
You're still going to have to take out the local foot soldiers. But Murray, thank you very much. Moving on, Kristin, come on in, dear. Unmute your microphone. Let's see your beautiful
Hello.
Hi, Kristin.
Hi. I have a couple questions. One about humanitarian projects. And I know everybody asks these questions, but I just want to make sure. I do have a humanitarian project, and I also have a couple different places that I would like to make sure money goes to. I don't have a project necessarily, but like a summer camp that I would love to donate to. So is that something, do you just like put notes on the bottom of your plan saying I would like to donate?
I would, an addendum. Just saying, if you have, I would also like to have money go to fund this this organization or that organization that I'm involved with. All right, and just find out what their operating costs are for a year, and then say, let's multiply that by 10 years. Okay, real simple stuff. Just ask the whoever's in charge of that organization, what are your operating costs for a year, and then multiply that by 10. So fund them for 10 years. Okay.
So real quick, again, in the chat on Charlie's show yesterday, John Dowling was posting something about you don't need an NDA. The NDA, if you sign the NDA, then they can take your money away at any time. But if you don't, it's yours. I've not heard that before.
No. Each of us will have to sign an NDA. Okay,
it's a must.
It is a must, especially when you have the Zim $100 trillion note. You'll get 30 cents on the million, $30 million for the 100 trillion for your own personal use. If that's all you want, that's great. If money is all you want, that's fine. But you're going to get less than that. Okay? You will get less than that. All right?
Okay. So it is a requirement in order to
it is a
cash in that note.
Yes, exactly. Because what we want to do is we want to stay hush-hush with, all of that money so that we don't have people doing nefarious things like holding people for ransom. All right. The word gets out. All right. You could get kidnapped. You could get this, that, or the other thing, so you're going to have to watch your P's and Q's. We don't want those little minion foot soldiers that I talked about, coming up to you and causing you havoc. All right. And we don't want your cousins and long lost relatives coming out of the woodwork. All right. Okay. So don't go blowing a lot of money on expensive baubles and cars and things of that nature. And if you do, come up with a cover story. Again, my cover story is I was in Southwest Missouri. All right. And I was shooting at some food, and up through the ground came a bubbling crude. Okay. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. All right.
Very good.
Kristin,
well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Gina Funero. Come on in, Gina.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
If we have a bank that is not compliant with Basel III and therefore cannot conduct business, what will happen to our funds that are still existing in that bank?
They have already been transferred over into the QFS system. They have been mirrored. Okay. Don't worry about that. The bank, if they're not Basel III compliant, will probably be taken over by a bank that is. All of a sudden,
Okay.
you'll see them change names. Okay.
And then we'll just be notified, I guess, somehow.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hey, we've been bought out, or XYZ bank bought this XYZ bank, ta-da.
Okay, and then one more question really quick. On the med bed thing, are they able to assist or help with weight loss?
I think that's more of a personal choice than it is a healthcare matter. All right. The extremely obese that are, would need, medical help as far as that is concerned. I mean, we're talking, people that are morbidly obese. Yeah. Those types of things will probably help. But I think the main thing is that it's kind of like going into confessional on Sunday and then going out and sinning on Monday. All right.
Gotcha.
If you don't do the changes necessary in your own life to correct your behavior that gave you the weight gain in the first place, then, all the confession in the world's not going to save you.
Okay.
Does
I just
that make
know
sense?
that in America, yeah, it does. I just never looked at it in that view, I guess. I know in America, being overweight is a huge issue, and it does, actually in response, create a lot of medical problems. So that's why I was asking.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. At my highest weight, I weighed 420 pounds. All right. And now I'm down to 280. Okay.
Awesome.
And I did that in the last 4 years.
Okay. Congratulations.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. But, it is possible. You just have to change your lifestyle. That's all. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Just wanted to know if it was a thing that, that would work or not. So thank you very much and everything you do.
All right. Thank you, Gina. Thomas Elliott. Hello, Thomas.
Hey, Billy. How are you doing?
Doing good, sir.
I was wondering if there's any news on the Iraqi government, because I was supposed to, the Iraqi government was to be sitting a couple of weeks ago, and then they were having the call, and it's gone a bit quiet on that front.
You can lay out the plans to the greatest thing in the world, have everything detailed, have it, pictures with circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one, explaining which one was to be used as evidence against us. If you don't know the song, it's called Alice's Restaurant. Okay. For those of you who don't know. But at the end of the day, after you look at all of that stuff that's sitting in front of you, you have to scrap everything for one reason and one reason only. Humans. Okay? And we're waiting for humans to get over their egos. In my mom's song, called A Changing World, one of the verses goes, you have to give if you want to live. Put your pride on your shelf and get over yourself, and let's create a better changing world. So I think that's where we're at right now with this, is we have some egos in the way. Okay? And that's... that's supposed to happen. Get the government seated, then they do their currency revaluation. Ta-da. I think we are so close. We're just debating when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen. Okay, it's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when at this point. Okay.
Great. That was just one question, and so glad you and Peter are still doing your show. It's absolutely brilliant. So thanks for doing it.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. Larry Kageman. Did I pronounce that right, Larry?
You nailed it. Thank you. And love and gratitude to you and Peter for taking on this work.
Thank you.
I can't tell you how appreciated you are. In the old world, if our debts disappeared and there was a wave of money that came in, there would be hyperinflation and nobody stocking shelves or waiting tables. I'm curious to know how this is going to be different.
Well, it's going to be different because we still all have jobs to do. And the information for the masses is dripping out slowly. I mean, we have our core group here, okay? We all know what's going on, all right? We know what we want to do to help save humanity. Is there going to be new opportunities that are going to be coming along? Yes, there will, okay? But as people as the masses really start to wake up, all right, they're not going to quit their jobs right off the bat, all right? they won't know that they're going to be getting their taxes back that they paid throughout their lifetime. A lot of them don't know about the dong, dinar, and zim. That is, believe me, that is a very minute, okay, compared to the population of the United States and also of the world, okay? Whenever you think about it, if 1 million people out of 5 billion, okay, around the world, 7 billion, something like that, all right, are clued into what's going on like we are here, that's very minute, okay? But you also have the opportunity to create those jobs to help you, okay? And one of the things that, you know, we have suggested, buying food and things of that nature, but don't just buy food for yourself. Buy food for about 10,000 people, 100,000 people, and start putting it in warehouses as a humanitarian project around your community so that if there are people in need, they can come to you, okay? And you're going to need people to help you distribute that, all right? And put those people to work, all right? And pay them a good wage, all right? So, you know, all of a sudden you've got a business opportunity right there, all right? Sure. But with the amount of funds, you're not going to have much overhead because you're already going to have it funded for the next 10 years. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. We'll combine that with gardening, and your response is consistent with what we've experienced so far in that it's trickling in. It's not coming in like a tent on weight. And
that's by design. That's by design.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Larry. Thank you. I see we got Peter back. Peter, are you up and running there?
I hope so. Can you hear me okay?
Barely. Okay, need to adjust your microphone, sir.
Okay, is that any better?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, okay. Yeah, I don't know. My system just completely crashed. I had to completely reboot. all kinds of junk and.
All right. While you figure out your audio stuff, I'll take a couple more here. Okay.
All right. I'll see what I'm doing.
All right. Dee, Carl Skint. Dee, go ahead. Go ahead and unmute.
Okay, here I am. Hey, thanks guys for everything. One of my questions was already answered, but if our bank does fold, how will we have access to any of the account or any of our money?
Banks don't just fold, okay? They have to allow access to your funds, all right? So most likely, if your bank is not Basel III compliant, it will be taken over by an institution that is Basel III compliant. All right.
Okay.
Those plans are already in works. Okay. So I would not worry about it because your funds, your bank accounts have already been mirrored over to the QFS. Okay. Okay.
And then my other question is, I'm in the process of turning my IRA over to a gold-backed IRA.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any clue or idea of when gold and silver will take off?
Well, that is speculative right now, but it should start happening when the gold and silver prices are not suppressed anymore by the big global bankers. So the bankers have to be taken out first. The stock market has to crash, all right? And then you will start seeing gold and silver start going through the roof.
Okay, so this could be a few days process.
Right. You know, it's all going to happen slowly, all right? But I really believe that after, you know, the events happen, okay, the Queen's death, the Biden administration getting taken out, that you'll start to see the change, okay?
Okay.
And it will rocket up, okay, within a couple of months, okay?
Oh, okay. Okay. That gives me a better timeline. Thanks. I appreciate you guys.
All right. Thank you, Dee. Mark Curry. Hello, Mark.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Good morning from Sydney, very early morning.
Oh, yeah, Sydney.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, go ahead. I got Nick sitting over here, you know, in Sydney also, or just outside of Sydney. Yeah.
Couple of questions. Number one, the whole NESARA thing, the debt forgiveness. I just want to confirm something. we've heard about debt forgiveness, but then I've also heard about that the bank forgiveness is not the entire debt, it's the interest-only portion of it. Could you just confirm which it is on
all
with regards
loans
to NESARA?
under all loans that have been done by the bankers of the world have been done nefariously and illegally, okay, and charging interest. All right, so what's going to happen is the entire debt gets forgiven, not just the interest on the debt, okay?
Right.
All right, because they loaned you the loan. Basically, it's like saying a loan shark in New York City, okay, that was loaning a bunch of people money. He gets arrested, all right, and then the people that, you know, got loans from him no longer owe him the money because he's in jail, okay, or has been taken out. Same principle.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for that. Second question, the tax portion, the tax getting back. It's got to get my head around this. We've been living in Australia for about 13 years now, originally from South Africa. So obviously we've been employed there, working at different companies, now coming over here to Australia, working. How is this all going to work? Because I mean, and I'm sure this applies to a lot of other people, being all over the show.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, I've worked in several different states, okay, in not different countries, but remember, all of those funds that you paid in your taxes have all been recorded, okay? It's all there, digital database that has been converted over. So that will get back to you somehow. There's a tracking, there's a way of tracking you, all right, for good and evil, all right? And the good guys know where you are and how much you paid and whatnot. It will eventually get back to you, okay, over time. It's not going to all come at once. It'll be over time. All right.
No, understood. Thank you very much, guys. Much appreciated.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Matthew Fotu. Hello, Matthew.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great. Thank you. Is the 4th of April disclosure for revaluation still going ahead?
Let's not talk about dates anymore. Okay.
Okay.
When it happens, it's going to happen. All right. Everybody's getting all fussy about the dates that are being thrown around and whatnot. And again, we've seen a lot of dates come and go. All right. It's events, not dates. Queen's death. Sure. Biden administration get taken out. All right. Now, a lot of things may happen before those events happen. All right. Because that's for the masses. All right. That's not for us. We already know what's going to happen. All right. So they may start the RV, all right, and everything before all of those events start to happen. All right. The timing of it is in God's hands, not mine, not yours, not anybody else. All right. It's in God's hands. And whenever they're ready to go, they will let us all know. All right. But right. I don't think they want us going out there with the masses, you know, in panic and shock of what, you know, is about to take place. Okay. Sure. I think they want to get that done before the big events happen.
Sure. Second question. At the Redemption Center, I'm thinking you'll be walking out with a card and Tesla phone, possibly. So with the card, is that the money that is connected into the card, that is connected to a bank, or you need to deposit
it's connected to the quantum financial
bank
system. Okay. It's connected to the quantum financial system. All right. Not necessarily to a particular bank.
So do you need to take that money out from that bank to your own bank?
No. It'll be there just for you to use. It may not be a card. It may just be a Q phone with your digital wallet on it that's connected to the QFS.
Okay, great. And last question. What does Basel III compliant bank means?
Okay, let me before this just becomes the Billy show instead of the GESARA.
All right. Bring your microphone down just a little bit. You're a little overmodulated.
No, is that better?
Yes, much better. Thank you.
Much better. Okay. Yeah. See, I had a few technical problems today, but so you're asking about Basel III. Basel III is a rule which has been applied worldwide to banks, and it basically says that the banks have to have a certain amount of gold to back up all their assets. So if they don't have enough gold, and a lot of banks don't have enough gold, that means they have to shut down as of the 1st of April, which is tomorrow. So there's been a mad rush by banks to buy in enough gold in order to comply with Basel III. And yeah, I personally asked the banks which I bank with if they were Basel III compliant, and they all said yes, we are. So let's just assume that they are. But it certainly is something which is beginning to reverse all this printed money which banks have been doing. So does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much for you, Billy and Peter. We all appreciate what you guys are doing. Thank you very much.
Well, that's right. But Basel is a town in Switzerland, and I'm a hell of a lot closer to it than Billy is.
Great. Thanks very much. We really appreciate what you guys are doing.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So now Billy's microphone is switched off. Billy, we can't hear you, so maybe he's just talking to someone else. Okay, let us move to Sandy.
Hi there.
Hi, Sandy.
Hello, Sandy.
Hi, how are you?
We're fine.
Good. My question is, if we are supposed to be getting the Q phone when we go for our appointments, but those Q phones, my understanding is that the military is just now manufacturing them. How does that work as far as timing? Do you know anything about that?
Well, I doubt that they're just now being manufactured. What I heard is that they've already made a billion of these phones. So okay. There are various stories going out about who's manufacturing it. I heard that they're being made in Germany, which is certainly a country capable of producing phones of that nature. I also hear it's based on the Tesla phone. But it may not be the actual Tesla phone, that it's a variant of the Tesla phone. So it's a bit shady at the moment, and they're not telling us much what these Q phones will be. We do know that they are going to be linking to the Starlink satellite system, and that they will have special banking software on there for us to link directly to the QFS system. And it should be pretty easy to use, but extremely secure.
Great, thank you. And one other question, just Billy was somewhat touching on it, was so the RV is not dependent on these other events? Well,
the RV is dependent on the fact that we've switched to the new gold-backed system. In other words, they're not going to be giving us money in fiat currency. So
I understand.
So we have to switch to the new system, and then we can get the money.
Right. I think, sorry, what I meant was the Queen or President Trump coming back in the public, these other things. The RV can happen before that.
Well, the Queen is already in public, so I think what you mean is that the Queen is no longer in public.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. That's me. I kind of pick up on things like that.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. The wicked witch is
right.
dead.
Okay. Yes. Which witch is that? Yeah. So anyway, so.
All right. Thank you, Sandy. All right. Let's go on to Judy. Judy R.
Judy R. I can't hear you, Judy.
Yeah, need to there we go.
All right.
Hello, Judy.
Goes away, and then I have to find it. Okay, so we're going to be sovereign citizens back under constitutional law, 1776.
Yep.
Will we be able to go to the motor vehicles and remove like our plates and things like that, and where we own our vehicles again?
Well, everything here. Yeah, I'm sorry, Peter. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't think it's going to happen that quickly. And, if everybody's already got number plates, why exchange them? Or what happens instead is that the ownership of your vehicle by the state will change. The ownership of the vehicle will be passed on to you personally, as opposed to it being state. Because at the moment, when you buy a car and you register it, you're basically giving your car to the state. and the state just says you're allowed to use it. But they see it as it's yours. Now that is what's going to be replaced. The ownership is going to be restored. Does not necessarily mean we have to get new number plates.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
I have another question about the stock market. We know it's going to crash. They also said there's people have a lot of money in it. So what I was just thinking about, like the pensions, most of the pensions are invested in the stock market. Do you think the stock markets are going to just disappear, or they're actually going to?
I think they will come back in some form, but not in what we know today.
Yeah, because there's a lot of evil. A lot of pharmaceutical stuff is, tied up in the stock market, and BlackRock and everything like that. That's gotta go.
Yeah, what I'm hearing is that derivatives will be disappearing, and that stocks in companies may be kept in some form or another, but it's unclear exactly how that's going to happen. But things like derivatives and some other things are supposed to be disappearing. But because stock market, we're talking about individual companies whose funding comes from the stock market, and we're not going to start closing down all companies. It's they're just going to be a new way of handling this, and it'll probably move into a kind of token system on the QFS. That's what I'm hearing, but we'll have to wait and find out exactly, because I haven't seen anything very clear on explaining that yet.
All right.
So I don't quite comprehend the directives. What do you mean by directive?
Did I say the word directive? What I mean is we don't know derivatives I was talking about.
Derivative, yes, sorry.
Derivatives are like, I'm not an expert I'm not a financial expert, but derivatives, I understand they are like futures, that they're.
Okay.
You got that?
Yes.
Yeah. You watch Mornings with Maria's, you see the futures come up. They're trading, on the dark web.
That's right. Yeah. That's going away.
Okay. All right. But thank you, Judy. Sujata, hello, dear.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good.
I'm in Boston. I had listened to Chaz Carter's show where he had Mr. C on the phone.
Right.
And Mr. C said that when the Ukrainian president gives in to the request of the alliance or Putin, that after that, Mr. C will be given the codes to release the RV for the NESARA GESARA.
That could be right. I mean, Mr. C is pretty well informed on these things, and certainly he is a guy who needs to go, because he's very much deep state and very much a bought personality. I mean, he's an actor, and he's just playing a role, basically.
But Mr. C was saying it sounded like it was going to be basically after maybe the Ukrainian war was about.
Well, we're all speculating at this point. Okay.
That's right.
I mean, nobody really knows for sure how it's all going to play out. All right. We're just having to wait for the game to be played out. And all we can do is prepare as much as we possibly can for it and have plans in place in order to deal with the aftermath. Okay. We know what's coming. All right. What are we going to do afterwards? The particulars of how it's all going to come down, nobody really knows. And I don't think we really need to be focusing on that.
That's right. What we need to be focused on is that we have enough food to get us through the next few weeks, preferably for longer. But, if you got enough food to get you through April, you're probably okay, because the prices, everything is going to go crazy in April.
Right.
As we switch systems.
Concentrate on your homes first, and then your own little communities. And then if you have enough funds, if the RV happens before everything crashes, all right, go out and buy enough food to help your neighbors, okay, in your own community. All right, start those humanitarian projects like that. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
To ask, how long will it take for the funds to be available after our appointment? Is it immediate?
Almost immediately.
Yeah, you'll get a plastic card, and then you just go out and you can use it.
Yeah, exactly.
But how So we won't be able to travel? Like, for how long will the trains and buses?
Well, they're closing. They're going to lock down the world as in a military lockdown, while they are basically switching systems and taking out the last deep state people.
They don't want the bad guys.
That's when we have to be
flying,
at home.
Flying down to Barbados. Okay.
Well,
And how long do you think that might take?
I have no idea.
Yeah, let's not speculate here. We've got to keep to what we're saying, and I want to remind Billy that we can't do the Q&A much longer because we have to move into the next section.
Right. We got a couple more here.
So we'll do a couple more, and then we'll move on to the next section.
All right, Nick in Australia. Hello, Nick.
Nick just disappeared.
Yeah, Nick just disappeared. All right, Kirky.
No, there he is.
Wait. No. All right, there's Nick.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
How you going?
We're fine. Yeah.
That's the way. Look, I was just doing a lot of catch-ups with what's happening around Australia at the moment, and gee, I'll tell you what, because I was involved with a protest down here, and they're all still going down in Canberra. There's a faction of us that are out there still protesting. And it's very interesting. We're still getting bombarded by rain. We've still got a lot of chemtrails and petrols going through the roof. And there's a lot of people really fighting, even though we've got a lot against us. They're clearly trying to make it very difficult for anyone who's protesting. And there's a lot less of us doing so. So Australia's sort of just hanging in there, really. But my question today was, in regards to people who don't have any currency or anything that they want to go to a humanitarian project meeting, like, can they still apply for their humanitarian idea? I think we did cover this before on another meeting, but I just want to clarify because I've got a lot of people in my Stand in the Park group who have got great ideas, but they just don't believe me when it comes to the currency and the RV.
There's going to be plenty of money to go around and plenty of people that want to be investing in humanitarian projects. So all we need to do is just stay connected, to people who have the funds and want to fund humanitarian projects, but don't have a clue as to what to do. All right. There's a lot of people out there with those, that have the Zim that don't know what to do with it. All right. They want to invest in something, but they don't know what. So all we have to do is just stay connected with each other.
And when you turn up with 40 million in your pocket, they're going to start listening to you.
Exactly. Yes, but those people that have dreams and they have definite humanitarian projects, but they don't believe about the RV, are they going to be able to go in the future to apply to get money?
Yes, they can apply to you.
The other meetings.
They can apply to you, Nick.
They'll come to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So include their ideas in your business plan.
Exactly.
Well, I'm doing that. I am doing that.
Yeah.
Some of them don't even know that that's what I want to do because I'm listening to all the people in my group and I'm hearing what they want to do, but I'm also seeing their sort of ignorance with this whole RV. They don't believe it.
But that's okay. That's okay. They will believe it when all of a sudden you have the funds to fund their project and you surprise them with it.
It's just annoying because I just think it could have been so much better for everyone if they all just...
Yeah, we're all going through this. We all have, even my own family don't believe it, except my brother. My brother's on the same page as me, but the rest of my family, they just think we're crazy.
I know. There was a person who actually mentioned about sovereignty. They were asking about sovereignty in the chat.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, can we just confirm that people's status just happens automatically? It changes automatically. I'm hearing someone else talking.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, and I don't see anybody else talking right now. So it's just us. All right. I'm not finding anybody.
You're not finding it.
I'm not finding it. No.
It's like a mumbling.
Yeah, it's like a mumbling in the background.
Yeah. It's not coming up. All right, but anyway, go ahead, Peter.
Now I've sort of lost the thread. We're talking about your friends not believing you, or
No, I said it was about the sovereignty. Like people, when everything changes, will their status happen automatically? It'll change,
Well,
and they won't have to go through an application to change their
no,
status.
that should happen to all of us, because we're losing statute law. Because when we switch to the 1776 Constitution or its equivalent in our respective countries, then out goes statute law and we move into common law. So everybody regains their sovereignty then.
Okay, that's good news. Now, someone also asked about the celestial chambers, and I've watched a lot of the Jared Rand information, and he specifically said that it would take 9 months after the GESARA kicks in, RV kicks in, and he said it would take 9 months to create the prototype, and then it would all go very quickly from there in with the actual celestial chambers being replicated. That's what I heard, and I'm sure other people can confirm.
Yeah, that's pretty similar to what I heard. I heard that the normal med beds will be available pretty much immediately, that they've already been building them everywhere. But the celestial chambers are behind, and they've got to finish that. But they do have these replicator systems. I'm hearing that they can replicate 1,000 units a day.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, and then it was amazing how he said something about how they're going to deliver it to people through some sort of spacecraft. I don't really understand that one, but he said that they could have them at any location within 13 minutes around the world.
Beam it down, Scotty.
Yeah,
exactly.
I have no idea. But I just thought I'd just mention that because that's what I heard from Jared Rand.
Yeah, fine.
All right. Well, Nick, thank you very much. Peter, it is time to move on to the next segment of the program. Okay.
That's right, yes.
So here's what we want you to do, folks. Okay. Peter's going to be talking through all this. I'm going to be muted, all right, so that I don't interrupt the process. But get your 2 glasses, all right, clear glasses. Put your orange juice.
Don't put it in yet.
Don't put it in yet. Peter will give you instructions.
Yes.
All right. You can use orange juice, pineapple juice, whiskey, whatever. Okay. I used whiskey yesterday. A very nice Maker's Mark. All right. And put if you look up in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, and you have 9 dots up there that say view, put it on speaker view, not gallery, speaker view. Okay. So when Peter is speaking, it's focused on him. Okay. And we're going to do a little trick right now, and he's going to explain all about it. So Peter, take it away.
Okay. Well, I did this with I tested this with Billy yesterday, and he didn't know what he was to expect, and so I just talked him through it, and he used whiskey, and he was just blown away when he saw what effect was there. Because how can someone here, myself, have an effect on the drinks on his table? You know, this is something you have to get through your head. But let me first of all give you a little bit of explanation. What we've got is, imagine if you take an orange fresh from the tree, and you bite into that orange, and it tastes really fresh and delicious. No aftertaste, not bitter. It's a beautiful taste. But the thing is, most of us do not have orange trees in our back gardens, and the oranges get picked, and it takes days, weeks, months until those oranges land in the supermarket where we get them, and then we eat them. In that time, radiation in the form of 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi has taken an effect on this fruit, and it's called free radicals. What free radicals are is that they remove electrons from the atoms which make up that fruit. And that is why fruit, vegetables, whatever, goes bad, goes stale, because they lose their electrons on an atomic level. And that's what makes it go stale, go bad, and taste bitter. So if you get a glass of orange juice and you drink it, and you have a bitter taste in the back of your throat. That's because of the effect of radio waves affecting the fruit. So if anybody has fresh orange juice, you're probably not going to notice much difference in this currying experiment. If you have orange juice bought from the store in a carton or whatever, then it's likely to have lost a lot of its electrons, and it's going to be tasting bitter. And the more bitter it tastes, the more you will notice. The same thing happens to alcohol or basically any drinks. The reason I'm saying take a bitter drink is because you will notice the difference much more. You could do this with water, but because water is not bitter, you will notice that that there's a change, but you won't notice the difference which then happens. So before I tell you too much about what is happening, I don't want to suggest to you. What I'm going to do is we're going to start doing this experiment, and this is first time I've done to such a large audience, but I've done this many times before with other people. Is that what you do now is you get the two glasses in front of you, and you pour both glasses half full, not full, half full, the same amount in each glass. So if you can do that now, it could be orange juice, it can be lemon juice, it can be whiskey, but so just so when you've done that, you need to take one of those two glasses and hide it out of sight of your computer screen. So if you can put it in a cupboard somewhere or somewhere away, so where no light from your computer screen is going to hit that glass. Okay, so we'll let you guys do that and sort yourselves out. And so have you all done that? Let's assume you have. So now you have one glass in front of you. If I see Sandra McCurdy, you looks like you've got a little bit too much fluid in there. But don't drink any of it, just pour it back a little bit. That's right, yeah. Jim Dixon looks okay. Oh, he's got two drinks. Okay, so he's going to try both. That's fine. He's doing whiskey and orange juice. Okay, right. Oh yes, and I can see Kiri has also got, it looks like lemon juice. Yeah. Okay, good.
That's all right. What?
That's all right. Okay, fine. Good. So I'm going to assume that you've all done that now. That the one glass is now hidden away, and the other glass is now in front of you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shine a light into the camera, and there's going to be a sound which goes along with it, and you have to hold the glass up to the screen. So that, make sure you have it on speaker view so you get a larger picture. And now, if you have a glass, now I've got some orange juice here as well. I'll put some orange juice into mine. So I want you to hold the glass up to the camera in such a way that there is nothing obstructing. Yeah. So if you hold it like that, you're obstructing it. So you've got to hold it in a way that that somebody's speaking about, that the glass side is open and free to the screen, that it's not covered with your hand. So that would be wrong, and that would be right. Okay. So it's very important you do that, because otherwise the effect is not going to work. Okay. So now comes the exciting bit where we actually do this. We're talking about what we're going to do is on a smartphone app. Okay. People who followed my links in the past may begin to recognize what I'm talking about, but most of you probably not. And there's a special app which will work on on any modern Android or iPhone. But if you have a choice between Android or iPhone, you would use the Android. It works better on Android. So okay, so everybody hold the glasses up to the screen, and I'm going to start this, and it's going to last about 2.5 to 3 minutes, where I'm going to shine the light from this camera, from this smartphone, into the screen, and just hold it still, and make sure that the drink is held freely to the camera. Okay, we're starting now. So that was it. Now, when I did this with Billy yesterday, he noticed that there were some bubbles floating up on his whiskey. Now you won't see that with orange juice, but you might if you were having. Now, don't drink anything yet. Don't. What you want to do now is put the glass down on the table and go and fetch the other glass.
Yeah, the frequency.
Oh, I couldn't understand what that was saying. It was too bloated.
It was just somebody unmuted.
Okay, right. So, okay, so everybody's got their glass. Obviously, you have to know which one is which. I'm assuming you all do. Now, I just want you to smell the untreated glass. Just smell it. Don't drink. Just smell it. And then compare the smell with the treated glass. It should smell fresher.
I'm seeing everybody in the chat. You know, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Amazing. Yes, that's right. Which fresh? The treated glass is the one which is going to be smelling fresher.
Yes, and the liquid will look more clear.
That's right. Yes, it will be clear. But that you won't notice that on orange juice. You'll notice that on something like whiskey.
The whiskey will be more mellow.
That's right. Correct. But don't tell them too much, Billy. Let them. Otherwise, they'll be saying that we're suggesting it.
All right.
Let them find this out. So what I want you to do now is I want you to take a sip out of the treated glass. It should taste more mellow, more smooth, and sweeter. And you'll notice if it's something bitter that there's no aftertaste. Is that right? Can you write in the chat? There should be. It should have no aftertaste and should be sweeter, rounder, smoother. Okay. So hold that in your memory. So what it tasted like. Okay, it tastes nice. Now take a sip of the untreated glass. Remember, this came from the same bottle. So it tastes bitter, horrible now. Yeah, no, people are noticing that? Huge difference I'm seeing. Wow, awful. Well, that's amazing. That's much bitter. How is that possible? Yes, I'm seeing this in a totally different, huge difference. I am not where you are. You poured these glasses out yourself you bought the orange juice. It's not me changing anything. At least not nefariously, yeah?
Right. In the whiskey, okay, for those of you who are true connoisseurs of whiskeys and scotches, it's kind of like whenever you drink it straight, or if you add a small ice cube to it, the flavors come out much more enhanced when you add the ice cube to it. If you'll notice, the whiskey has a lot more flavor, and you can tell the nuances of the whiskey. You can taste the flower, you can taste the peat, you can taste the citrus.
Right.
It comes out a lot better.
So, it's a huge difference. And all I did was shine light and some audio on, and that had an effect to all the people in this group, or at least I presume everybody, and it works over a live meeting. Now, if you're watching this on the recording, it's not going to work. It only works on a live video. We've tried this many times. The recording, no effect. Yeah, it's the same light, same sound, but the effect is not there. It's got something to do with quantum mechanics. That gets very complicated. If you really want to read about it, it's on the website, which I'm going to tell you about soon. But one thing we have noticed, and we've shown it again and again, it works on a live transmission. It does not work on a recording. So the poor people watching the recording are going to say, what's he talking about? Nothing changed. Well, it won't. It has to be live.
All right. So, and people can get this app at hydration.
Yeah, don't tell them that.
Well, okay, all right.
Yeah, don't. You're trying to go for too fast. Okay. So what has happened now? This is probably what you're asking, saying this. How is this possible? It's only a light. A company in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia developed this, and I've known this company for years. And they have, and it's a very rich company, which is all about doing things for people's health and well-being, and that's what they do. And they've been developing this app for about 4 years, and it's based on a previous technology that they used, but they managed to get this into that. Now, what is actually happening is the following. The light which you're seeing has frequencies modulated into it, special frequencies. I think there are about 80 frequencies modulated, which are having an effect on the glass. And these frequencies cannot be recorded on video, but they can be transmitted on a live video. And it's these frequencies which are affecting it, and they have the effect of restoring the electrons in the drink that you have. And so by restoring the electrons, you're returning that orange juice or grapefruit juice or whatever you have to the state it was when that fruit was plucked from the tree. In other words, that is you're putting back what has been taken away by radiation and Wi-Fi and whatever in the time between it was plucked from the tree and it landed on your table. That is what the app is doing. Now, it's not all in the the video is also in the audio. You are hearing music, but hidden behind the music are also additional resonance frequencies which add to the effect. That's why it's a combination of sound and light which is happening. And they've managed to program the LED lamp on your smartphone to modulate these frequencies, and that is what is affecting this. There's a whole science behind this, and you will be able to look it up if you really want to know. But you don't need to know the science. It works, as you can see. You can demonstrate it over a Zoom call. You can demonstrate it one-to-one. It's a fantastic effect. But okay, so the next question is it just improving the taste? It's not. It's doing much more than improving the taste. Now, there's a scientist in Washington State called Jerry something, I forget his name right offhand, but he's been doing research into what's called easy water. That's the letter E, the letter Z, as in Z in American, and then water. Of course, if you said EZ water, it doesn't work in British English. In American English, EZ water sounds like easy, like it's easy, not difficult. What is happening there, and there are some videos there explaining the process, is that the easy water has been shown to have a very positive health effect in that it cleans out your cells. That means when you drink fluids which have been treated with this app, then they go into your cells in your body, and that will detoxify your body. It basically forces contaminants out of your individual cells. Now, that's not going to happen in one drink. Yeah, this is going to happen over time. But this process will clean up your body. It will detoxify you and keep you free of disease, because you will be excreting everything which is being forced out of the cells. And over time, and we're talking maybe about 2 or 3 weeks, you will be cleaning out your bodily cells just by drinking the water or the orange juice or whatever which has been treated with this thing. What it also does, and this is a side effect of easy water, is it will prevent the radiation having an effect on you. That means the fact that your body has been energized, in other words, because you're getting the electrons back into your cells, this protects you from radiation. So this is also, that means it will protect you from 5G, from Wi-Fi and stuff like that, as long as you keep on drinking. Obviously, if you stop drinking it, then the effect will wear out. But while you're drinking it, and it will also harmonize the frequencies which your smartphone use. So after about 7 to 10 days of use, your smartphone will stop emitting harmful radiation. This is also a side effect, without changing the function of the phone. So these are all things which this app does. Say not overnight. You don't need to do it over a period of time. Just keep on doing it. What other people have been reporting is that if they have animals and they put one bowl of water which has been treated and the other bowl of water which has not been treated, the animals will very quickly go only for the treated water, and they will love it. It tastes delicious for them, and they will ignore the other water. Try this. You have pets at home, try it. Now you're saying, how can you try it? Because all I did was show you a light on a Zoom conference, which only works live. Now I'm going to show you a short video which explains the app in 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll tell you what you can do. So let me switch to a video. 1 second.
Optimize your hydration with Cell Wellbeing's Hydration app. The app recreates natural crystalline structures which are often found in fresh spring waters. These structures enhance absorption and hydration capabilities. A liquid's original crystalline structure can be broken by the conduction of electromagnetic waveforms. These invisible waveforms surround us all, as they are needed to run Wi-Fi paraphernalia and mobile phones. The Cell Wellbeing app conquers a liquid's electro-oxidizing waves by harnessing quantum mechanic technologies with biophotonic frequencies. Apply the app's rejuvenating frequencies onto any liquid before consumption, and you will notice the liquid enjoys a fresher aroma and smoother taste. The app can also be used on face creams and body lotions to improve their absorbability. You can even create your own misted water spray to control smaller unwanted wrinkles or to bolster your balance and strength. As light is faster than sound, you can demonstrate the app's biophoton effectiveness over thousands of kilometers simply by shining your phone's web app light onto your computer's camera during a live video conference. The video participants who are holding a glass of liquid up to the screen will all discover that their glass of juice or water becomes lighter in color, smoother in taste, and has an improved aroma. Children similarly prefer the taste of their juice and milk after the use of the app. Pets also prefer their drinking water revitalized with the Cell Wellbeing app. The Cell Wellbeing app has been economically priced at only $2.50 USD per month with the promotion code. The app includes two separate functions. Hydration optimizes all liquids before consumption, while the Life application creates a stimulated misted spray which supports balance and mental performance. To own your own Cell Wellbeing app and receive all of these important wellness benefits, use your smartphone with the promotion code to visit our website today.
So there you have it. That gives you a brief introduction to the technology, and you can see the websites where you can go to get this. I run those websites. This is one of my other projects, and I've been using this app for over a year now, and I use it every day. And so that gave you a brief overview of what's it about. Now, in the video, they talk about a spray. You get two apps. One is a hydration app, which we just use now in this live demonstration, and the Life app is used to spray yourself. It's a different program. So there are two programs you use. One you use for the bottle, and the other one you use for your drinks. Now, how you use this? You can spray it on plants, and they will grow better. You can spray yourself, and you instantly feel more awake, more alive. Whenever I'm working hard and working like mad to get the forum working or answer your questions, and I'm beginning to doze off, I just take this, spray myself, and it revitalizes me. I'm still amazed today, and I've been using it daily for years. No, for a year. Sorry, not for years. But it immediately wakes you up and allows you to concentrate again. And I still find it hard to believe, but I do it. It works, and that's basically what we're talking about now. You saw the price. It is actually $2.50 a month, or you can pay $25 for a year of use of this app. And apart from a blue bottle, some clean water, and your smartphone, that's all you need. There's nothing else you need to buy except obviously the drinks. Yeah, okay, but there's nothing else. So once you have the app, you can. It will protect you from 5G as long as you're using it, and it makes your drinks taste wonderful. I mean, I've been using it, and I just thought this is something really special to show you guys, and I'm very heartened when I also see how you are reacting. Everybody's saying, wow, wonderful, yes. Because, you know, it's always a worry when you do this, will it work? But of course it does work. And as we've all experienced today. And so what we're going to do now, you can go, well, after the show, just go to hydrationapp.com. We'll put the link in the bottom. And then you can learn about it, how it works. If you want more information about it, it's all there. You can learn more. There are various levels right up to the physics. You have to be a physics expert to understand all the technical information which is there. If you really want to go that deep,
all right,
you don't need to. You just need to know, does it work? Does it not? That's it.
And the big question is, what's the promo code?
You don't need to worry about the promo code, because if you go to Hydration app, we handle it for you. So if you just go to the order the app on the page, and I think the code which it will give you is Cell Wellbeing. So it's just Cell Wellbeing without any dashes or anything. That will work as the promo code, but you don't need to type that, because when you go to the Get the App page, in fact, I can show you on the website. Let me just share the screen again, and then you can have a brief look. 1 second. And so can you see the screen now? This is the website.
Yes.
Here, this is the landing page. When you type in hydrationapp.com, you just see this one page where you have a summary of what it does, and you get some information, you know, what you can use it with. As you can see, amaze your friends. I hope I've amazed you all. And you can also use it in beauty products. You know, women love to put it in their face creams because it makes it absorbs the cream much better, and it works there. And the spraying yourself, as you can see here, and it's great. If you feel washed out, use the Life app. As I just said, just spray yourself. Try if you can get a blue bottle, because blue makes the water last longer. Because if you put it in a clear bottle, you're not UV light will remove the effect in the water in about a day. So you have a blue colored bottle that will help the water stay fresh for a couple of days. But I mean, it's just water. You can just retreat it. But we say use that. It is basically a very effective antioxidant, which is how it works. So a lot of what it works is adding back the electrons which are taken away by free radicals. And that is what makes it taste sweet again. So, and it's based on work by Nikola Tesla. So I click to learn now more, then you can see it gets into more information. There are various levels of information. You know, here you can see various pictures changing, giving you more information. And before we go into too much detail, now you've got a menu at the top. There are some videos. So Professor Pollack is the expert on the fourth phase of water. What you're doing is when you use this on water, you change it from H2O to H3O2. So you're adding an electron both to the hydrogen and to the oxygen. And that is called the fourth phase of water. And if you're really interested, watch those videos. They're fascinating videos. You really learn what easy water is capable of. And that's basically what we've implemented in the app. How it works, that gets a little bit scientific. And Get the App is where you want to go when you want to actually obtain the app. It gives you instructions how to get it. I recommend watching this video. I won't play it now, but that guides you through the process. And I said there were two apps, Hydration and Life. They are both included in this $2.50 a month. So it's not $2.50 times 2, it's $2.50 times 1. Both are included in the same thing. And there it just explains what you have to do it. And at the bottom, what you can do now is if you're on this website on your smartphone, you click the green button. If you're on your PC, you use your smartphone to scan this QR code. So from there, so that takes you then to a slightly different place where you could then order the app, and then you just click on buy now. It doesn't matter if you do there or there, you end up at the same place, and then you fill in your details. You choose whether you want to be, well, I personally recommend the year because you can know it works. But if you just want to test it first, you can go for a month and later, but it's less hassle because then you don't have to worry about renewing it every month. From $25, I believe me, it works. It's a great thing. And then you click on buy now, and then you can just go through the order process. With buy it on credit card, it's all very much kosher. It's very much okay. And you will be able to do what I just did now at any time at home, and you have unlimited use. So for the $2.50, you can run the app as many times as you like. There's no restriction, but you can only use it on one smartphone at a time. That's the only restriction.
Question for the spraying yourself, preferably plastic or glass bottles to put
a blue glass bottle,
a
dark blue glass bottle.
All right. Would a brown bottle work? Like a
you
the
can
color of a beer
try
bottle, like a color of a beer bottle, because those that for beer purposes they do it that way so that the light doesn't affect the beer.
Well, maybe I've always been told blue because blue stops the ultraviolet light the best.
Right.
Yeah, that's the purpose of the blue bottle. You can put it in a clear bottle, but then you basically have to renew the water every day. Whereas if you put it in a blue bottle, it's going to last maybe 2 or 3 days before you have to renew the water.
Okay.
Okay, right. But I mean, I use that 5, 6, 7 times a day. Just when I'm lacking concentration, spray myself. I'm feeling fit again. And if you like plants, in fact, if you can go into your, it helps. If you, for example, you buy fresh vegetables, your cucumbers or your apples or whatever, just spray it with water, and you'll find that it stays fresh longer, and the effect goes into the plant, into the fruit or whatever, and makes it taste nicer. So you get a hell of a lot of value for the $2.50. So let me stop the share now and return. So I hope I have amazed you guys. And while I'm about it, let me give Billy back the host. And because then I don't have to worry about make host. So Billy, you should have the host back now.
Yes, Commander, I do have the con.
Right, you have the con. Okay, so now I'm sure you have questions, and so far away. We can now do questions and answers on this amazing app.
All right. First one I have is just an iPhone. Don't see your name there, dear. That I'm going to ask you to unmute. You should see that on your screen. Let me start my video again.
Yes, that's right. You can switch back to gallery view if you want to.
Okay. All right. I don't see them. Julie Horton, go ahead and unmute, dear.
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah,
yep,
we can hear you. I'll see you.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I didn't know I was going to get another chance to be on. So I guess my question, I got a couple now. I'm on your site on my phone trying to buy this app, but it's not letting me. It's like stalling.
Right.
That may be because so many people are trying to do it right now.
Well, no,
I keep.
What are you seeing?
Well, it's just I keep scrolling and it won't let me actually type anything. It won't let me it's asking for my information, but I can't type it in. It's just it's like it doesn't.
Are you on the billing page now?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. What I suggest you do is you leave it until after the show, and then
Okay.
and then on the Get It Now page, which I showed just now, watch the video because that tells you what you have to do. There's a couple of things which are a little bit unusual, like you have to click on the promoter inviter info in order to be able to fill in all the fields. It's a bit weird, but it's the way the guys in Hong Kong who are running the server programmed it, and I can't get them to change it.
Okay, so I need to do this from my phone, not my laptop, obviously.
That's right. Yeah, you order it on your phone, and then the
Yep.
app gets installed on your phone.
Okay, so then the question I was going to ask before we did the demonstration was, you know, I feel like I've heard a couple things now about the food supplies we needed. Like for the past 2 years, I've exhausted myself keeping up with like, you know, a week's worth, 3 weeks, months worth of food, and now I just heard you guys say like a year's worth. And then at the end, I heard you say if you had enough food through to last through April, you're good. It's like, that's a huge.
All right. Okay. That's two separate things. First of all, I'm assuming we don't have enough money now to buy a year's worth of food. I mean, maybe some of you do. So what I'm saying, what you should do now is get enough food to get you through April. And during April, when you get your funds, you'll then have enough money to buy for the year.
And so why is that? Why do we need to do that? Like
because there's going to be a worldwide food shortage.
Okay. But why is that? I guess it's like I keep getting down to the why is like, you know, because I feel like shouldn't the military or someone already have like a big storage for everybody, or are we kind of on our own?
It's a hell of a lot of food for everybody, for millions of people.
Right.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but I guess I'm just kind of confused. I was surprised to hear you say that in the beginning of the show, because like, where am I going to put a year's worth of food for me and my family? You know?
Yeah. Well, I say, first of all, make sure you've got enough to get you through April. During April, you'll be able to have your revaluation. You'll get a lot more money, and then you can afford to buy a storage location somewhere, or find somewhere you can hide the food, and then buy enough food, because you can get it now, but in a few months we're going to run out because the food from Ukraine provides 50% of the world's wheat supplies. We're not getting anything from there anymore. In America, the government has been doing everything possible to prevent the growing of food. They've been paying farmers to destroy their crops rather than sell them. There's going to be a massive shortage of food, and this is going to hit us shortly. We're still living off the food which was grown last year, but when the crops which have been growing or being ready are due to be sold, there's going to be a hell of a lot less, and then there's just going to be not enough food for us all to go around. So if we buy the food now, which we're going to need in the next year, we will be able to survive this period because we have the food which we bought now, rather than the food which has got lost. But I say, at the moment, this is a Q&A for the hydration app rather than the food. But we did answer that question.
I understand that. I was just like, I think a lot of people were thinking the same thing as me. Is like, well, I need to go buy some food right now.
It's kind of related. It's kind of related, so we'll let that through.
Yeah, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, moving on. Wendy Carlson.
Didn't we just on it?
I don't have any questions about the Cell Wellbeing app. I think it's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to using it. And I think you answered a lot of questions and helped us determine it online. So I appreciate that. So I just have a quick question about the other side of it, if I can ask that.
Briefly.
As far as exchanging our dinars, I have just 2 questions real quick. I have a daughter who is right in line with us. She knows exactly what's going on. And she's 17 years old, so she's not of age yet. So should I exchange the money? Do I have to do that? Or can she do that for herself because she bought her own dinar? And my other question is, you said that the planes and trains were going to be grounded. Are we able to travel by vehicle? Because we have a lot of travel going in the next couple of months because we have graduations going on.
The grounding is going to be during the martial law. We're going to have a martial law lockdown, and we all have to stay at home, and we'll be showing videos explaining to the world what's really been happening. This is an education period. We're all supposed to stay. That's why the planes and the trains will be grounded, because we're not supposed to travel. There's another reason that we're supposed to stay at home, because they'll be rounding up the bad guys and putting them in prison, and we don't want to get in the way of that military action. And you don't need to worry about losing any appointments, because as I understand it, we're switching from the Gregorian calendar to the Julian calendar, and the lockdown is for 13 days, and the difference between the two calendars is 13 days. That means we're on the new calendar. You carry right on with your appointments as before. You haven't lost anything.
Great, thank you. So does a 17-year-old, can she go ahead and get her money, or do I need to get it?
I haven't heard of such restrictions. It should be possible. What I would do in your case is just ask that when you make the appointment. I think it should be okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Wendy. Moving on, Sandra McCurdy.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Sandra.
How are you?
Good. Where are you from?
Fine.
Thank you very much. I'm in Ontario, Canada. I've had all kinds of issues trying to get hooked up with you guys again. I think the last time I was on the live was when Nick from Australia was zapped with those crazy.
Yeah, right. The EMF technology and got the blisters and
had it on his face.
Yeah, he needs the hydration app.
Yep, exactly.
I remember that distinctly. Anyways, I absolutely loved this. I had my mother here just for this special example today, and she noticed the difference, and my 7-year-old daughter, she noticed the difference also. So I'm going to be looking into the app that you provided today. Thank you very much. Also want to say thank you to both Peter and Billy for helping me get hooked up and registered with you guys and getting emails, and I've had a bit of trouble there. So I really appreciate that.
Good.
I had a question about my Zims. I have an authentic paper, a form here just for the ones that I received, but I don't for the other one, but I have a receipt. Is that okay?
Yeah. Just bring the notes with you. Don't worry about the receipts.
Just take it with you, yeah.
Whatever you have is going to be fine.
Take all the documentation you have, and of course the business plan. Just needs a few pages, but you need something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I need to bring the business plan as well.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
So any of my ideas having to do with humanitarian projects.
Yeah, that's right. But just make sure you have it written down, 5 to 10 pages. It doesn't have to be longer than that, but just so that they can read it and understand what you're doing. You know, you don't have to go into great detail with the numbers. Just make sure the concept is understandable.
And it can be more than one topic.
Yeah. I'm going in with 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Sandra. Gayden, True Luck. Go ahead and unmute.
Awesome, thank you. You know, I'm on my smartphone on this wellbeing.com.
Yeah.
And I'm at I said buy now, but it will not let me fill anything in.
Right. You're on the page where you fill in all your details, your name, your address, and is that right?
Yeah, but it will not let me fill anything in.
Yeah, I know. Go to the bottom, go to the top where it says billing details. Directly beneath that, there's a little tick box which says promoter inviter info. Make sure you've ticked that box.
Billing details. In the top right?
Top left.
Top left. On the home button?
I'm talking about if you got to the buy now thing on I'm talking about the page where you fill in your first name, your last name, your country, your street address, and your credit card at the bottom. On that page.
See, I can't get to that. I guess I'll have to play with it to get to that.
Yeah, that's right. As I say, watch the little video which guides you through the process, then you'll understand what you're doing much better. It is a little bit tricky, that page, and I can't get them to improve it. So we have to live with it. That's why I've gone out of my way to explain how to do it on the Get It Now page on the hydrationapp.com website.
Okay.
I have one other question. Which is not related. Will ESG, which I keep hearing about, that these banks, these environmental social scoring things, will that be gone away?
That's going to go away.
That should go away, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a deep state plan, and the deep state is losing power with the switch to GESARA.
Same with the Great Reset.
The Great Reset is not what we want, no.
All right.
That's part of the Great Reset plan to take control of everybody.
All right. Thank you, Gayden. All right. Eileen Hines, go ahead.
Unmute. Hi.
Hi, Eileen.
I'm here, and I just need one little quick question answered. You spoke earlier about the cell phones that we have. I have an iPhone, and it has a lot of information on it. And you said I've already backed up my computer on a hard separate drive. But what about the iPhone? If I shut it off, and will the information stay there, or are they going to just delete everything, or how can I do that? Download all my information.
You could download you should be able to plug your phone into your PC and just transfer the data. I mean, I personally, I use Android phones, so I'm not really familiar with the iPhones. But the data on your phone, you should be able to transfer to your PC without problems.
Yeah.
Right, but the PC doesn't have like all these gigabytes that I have on my phone. But let me ask you a question. When I put it into my computer, it goes to iTunes. It goes to the iCloud somewhere.
Right. That's proprietary software, but there is an option to download to the computer instead of to the cloud.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So just get
whenever you do a sync, whenever you do a sync, okay.
Yes.
Through iTunes on your computer. All right.
Yes.
It will ask you if you want to do a sync to the computer or sync to the cloud. Okay. I'm going to choose sync to the computer. Okay.
And if there's not enough room, what's going to happen? I guess I can just sync. Can't I sync to it?
You can buy an external hard drive. A terabyte hard drive is probably $100, something like that.
I do have one of those. I do have one of those, which I've downloaded my actual laptop onto. But I'm just thinking about the iPhone. Is there an option?
Download it. You can download the iPhone to the external hard drive.
That's right. Yeah.
I just have to have the right lightning connection and then the USB or whatever that is. I guess.
Exactly. Or what you do is you hook the external hard drive up to the computer, and then the phone to the computer at the same time. The computer will give you the option of whether you download it to the computer or to the hard drive. You can choose that. Okay.
That's what I wanted to know. Great. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a nice afternoon or evening or wherever you're at.
And what did the drink do for you, Elaine? Did you have
Well, you know, I had whiskey. I had some Jack Daniel's whiskey, and I wasn't sure. I mean, I just held my iPhone up to the glass so that the glass was showing in there where I would have been showing. Was that incorrect to do it? Because I didn't really notice any difference.
You didn't notice any difference?
You know what I'm saying?
No. Well, maybe it's because you're using a phone as opposed to a computer monitor. But it should normally make a difference. But I say, normally we work with people with a big computer monitor in front of them. That's where it works well. iPhones, I'm not so sure. I haven't really tested that much.
I see. So if I had the laptop hooked up, then perhaps I just hold the glass of
because there's simply more light. Yeah, because from a phone, there's not so much light coming from a smartphone display as you would get from a computer screen.
I see.
So that means there's less effect because there's less light reaching the drink. You get me?
Got it. I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
What we'll do, if you guys want to, we will repeat this experiment on the next meeting, so you can try it again. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Eileen. All right. Moving on. Steve, you're up next. Just got to unmute there, Steve. All right. Sorry, Steve. We'll come back to you. Maddie's iPhone. Go ahead.
Hi, Maddie.
Yes, it's good afternoon or evening. It's Maddie, long A. So,
Maddie.
Hey, listen, I got a question. Does this work with microwaved food as well?
Well, that's an interesting question because microwaving food is not exactly healthy in the first place.
Right, that's why I'm asking.
So if you can avoid, I mean, it will help detoxify the food, or whatever. But preferably put it on fresh vegetables or whatever that you cook normally. That would be better. What you can do is if you're cooking something in a pot of water, that you can run the app on the water before you heat it up, and that will also make the food in the water fresher. Yeah, there's all kinds of ways of using this, and you will find that these things just taste so much nicer and they're so much healthier for you.
All right.
Well, yeah, and I want to tell you this. My cat was upstairs when it first started, and she came running down the stairs and came running to my phone and didn't leave till you stopped.
Amazing. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've heard that a lot from animals.
My cat and my dog both will not drink regular water. They will only drink filtered water. So I can't wait to try filtered water against the app water and see. But I suspect there'll be snobs about that as well.
Let me tell you what a friend of mine.
She's 22 years old. She's 22 years old. Heard it and came running. I mean, running down the stairs.
That is pretty typical.
Was amazing.
It is pretty typical.
Pretty typical.
Right. A friend of mine who tried this, who said that his cat, hardly ever touched water, and as soon as this water, which had been treated, be doing that, she was lapping it up and drinking it and loved it. And since then, the hydration problem which the cat had because it wasn't drinking water disappeared because it was suddenly loving the water because it just was so much more natural and delicious.
All right.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you guys so very much.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Maddie. All right, Patricia Hilliard. Go ahead, Patricia.
Is it going?
Yeah.
Go on, yes.
Okay, thanks. Let's see. I want to know if the app will work if we download it on our MacBook Air and our iPhones. Once we get the Q phones, will it all transfer over?
Yes, you can install the app on any phone. The Q phone runs on a variant of the Android operating system, so it's just a matter of. I mean, what it's actually doing is it's running a website.
Yeah.
The app is just basically a website.
Yeah.
So why does the Android work better than the Apple? Because it's run on an Android website?
No. It's a technical reason. The Apple software will not let us switch the lamp on automatically.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's more complicated to use. You have to manually switch on the flashlight, run the program, then manually switch the flashlight off. On the Android phone, it can be done. That can be done automatically. So it's just basically due to the Apple software not allowing our app to switch the light on and off.
All right.
And another thing, I used Vitalize. I have a water vitalizer that I've been using for years, and it alkalizes my water.
Yeah.
And I put the water, and then I put organic lemon juice. And I think I put too much because I didn't notice the difference. It was both bitter when I tasted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be because of the additive added to the to it. It probably counteracted it.
Yeah, and you also we always say fill the glass half full because it's limited how much we can affect the glass over an internet connection.
But you said no sugar, so orange juice has sugar in it. So
yeah, but only natural.
But it's
sugar.
natural. It's natural sugar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, natural sugar is one thing, but we don't want any additional added, because that basically makes it more difficult. Yeah? So we're talking about natural, fresh orange juice, which is 100% orange juice. Yeah.
And I'm totally getting this app. I've been using healing frequencies since 2001 when I had a healing arts center, and I used with frequencies. I'd give ladies facelifts with
right.
I actually bought it from the UK back then. But
let me let you into I say the app has about 80 frequencies which it runs, and the group who made this app in Hong Kong, they're all sort of medical scientists and things like that, and there could be frequencies in there which might have a positive effect about some virus which people keep talking about. I can't remember the
Yeah,
name.
that would be good. I wouldn't be surprised.
All right,
But they're not allowed to say that, publicly.
All right, we got time for two more here. Thank you, Patricia. All right, Heather Richmond, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, Heather.
Hello, Heather.
Hi.
Where are you, Heather?
Sheffield, UK.
Oh, I thought you were in Richmond.
Yes, Richmond, Surrey.
Richmond.
Or North Yorkshire. Yeah, on North Yorkshire.
Right, okay.
My question is about, I saw on the little video about cups of coffee.
Yes.
Somebody, yeah, well, it's not see-through, is it?
Yeah, but we say not. We see the advantages on an online connection. You need to shine the light from the side because you can't turn your screen really on top of it. Whereas with your smartphone, you can put the smartphone over it like that.
Ah, right.
You can't do that with the screen. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's why we say you're affecting it from the side through the glass rather than directly above it, which you can do with coffee.
Yeah.
That's why we don't talk about coffee for this online demonstration.
Right. Okay. And how long would the water last if you did it in a bottle or a glass? A couple of days or?
Well, you normally you treat the glass of water or orange juice or whatever which you're about to drink, because then the effect is the most. When you want some more, then you just treat it. It only takes 2 minutes, so it's not a long process.
So it was the Life one you were talking about that lasted a couple of days.
Yeah, the Life. When you put
spray.
it into like a blue bottle, then you can spray yourself. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
The hydration app, you just basically do it before. What I did at Christmas, we had a Christmas tree here, and I treated the water, which I gave to the Christmas tree every and in fact, because I wanted to have a strong effect, you can run the program 2 or 3 times. So all the water I gave the Christmas tree, I treated 3 times with the hydration app, and we had the Christmas tree up for 4 weeks, and in the 4th week, it still had not lost any of its
needles. Yeah.
All right.
Great.
That shows, so it's great if you've got plants. It's great as well to keep them fresh as well. And you can run the program several times. So I did it 3 times. It doesn't make much sense much more than 3 times, but you can run it 3 times, then you're increasing the effect.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you very
Heather.
much.
You're welcome.
All right. All right, Steve, we're coming back to you. Go ahead, buddy. Unmute.
Hello there.
Hello, Steve.
Hi. Yes, about the water. When you're using the water with the app, I distill my water. I was just wondering if that's a good idea to do that in conjunction.
Yeah, you can use distilled water with the app. We don't normally talk about distilled water because most people think distilled water is bad for you, but when it isn't. But yes, you can definitely use distilled water with the app.
Yeah, that's good. These frequency devices are wonderful. I've got one here. It's been using it for a few months.
Yeah.
And it can do all sorts of things.
Which device is that?
It's a Healy.
A Healy, okay.
Yes, yeah. They're a bit pricey, but yes, all these things. I really don't need too much convincing that this frequency stuff is really good.
Yeah, I mean, most people, when they try it, particularly when they try it on their own smartphones, they just say, "Wow, why didn't I know about this before?" And
it's incredible. You can do that on the phone, isn't it?
Yeah, and you can. Now they used to sell a plastic card where the effect came from a plastic card. There were Tesla coils in the card, but they were charging $400 for those cards. And what they've done is they've taken the technology which they put into this card, which was too expensive for most people, into the app, and they took about 2 or 3 years to perfect it. And so you're now getting the effect from a $400 card in a $2.50 app.
This Healy's got it's a Tesla coil in it, and it works on scalar energy. So it kind of, because normally you need wires and everything to hook yourself up.
Yes.
But just walk around with this, go anywhere with this, and it's very portable. So that's another good thing.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been using freezing therapy for a long time.
Peter, did you say that you came from Brentwood?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Oh, right. I grew up in Romford.
Oh, right. Oh, that's where my mother lived.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because when we sold the house in Brentwood, my mother moved to Romford.
Oh, right.
About
okay.
on the Regarth Avenue, which was where the cinema.
Yeah, I remember the Odeon or ABC.
Odeon, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So she lived in Regarth Avenue in Romford.
Oh.
I mean, my mum's dead now, and we do no longer own that property. That's why I don't have no problem telling you the street. We don't own that property anymore. But yes, I know Romford well.
Yeah. Oh, it's a small world, isn't it?
It is. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've got connections to Germany as well.
All right, where?
Yeah, my grandmother used to live in Erlangen.
Erlangen, okay.
About 20 kilometers from Nuremberg.
That's right.
I used to go over there a lot in the summer holidays when I was young. So I can speak a little bit of German as well.
Ah, great. Yeah, well, I came over to Germany because my father worked for Ford Motor Company in Cologne. That's how I got to Germany.
Yeah.
And so when I finished my studies in the UK, I'd always come out here on holidays, and he said, "Oh, do you want to come out here for a year or so and so I said, "Yeah, sure." So I moved out to Germany, and I'm still here all these years later.
Wow. I've not been to Germany for a while, but I've still got a friend there, and we've been friends for over 50 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Small world.
It is. It certainly is.
Okay, thanks, Steve. And
yeah, thanks very much.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
Yeah.
So who are we moving on to, Nick or Steve? No, we said Steve. Should we do Nick in Australia?
Hi, I just had a quick question.
Yes.
If we're mostly water, can we just use it on our face? Because I was using it before on my face and it was making me feel very calm. What do you think?
Yes, yeah, you can definitely treat yourself with it. In fact, that's described when you look into the more detailed documentation. They do describe that it has like a chi effect, and so yes, you can treat yourself directly, and that's the reason why it has such an effect on your body, because we are mostly water, and obviously, it's not going to have a much effect from the first glass, but as we drink more and more of our drinks treated with this thing, it's going to have a very positive and detoxifying effect on your body. It's, the EZ water, as described by the professor, literally forces contaminants out of your cells.
That sounds great. I'm just actually treating in the kitchen my spring water, which I collect locally in the bush.
Right.
It's our local village spring water source. And I've got a 40-litre container. I've got 4 of them. And that lasts me a few months. And I'll just use it on that so that all my water is healed. And the other thing I wanted to say is that Orgonite is another really good way to get rid of EMFs out of water or in your home. Has anybody used Orgonite? You can buy it on eBay. This is another way to protect yourself.
Yeah, there are various things, but you see, with that you've got to go out and buy something. Here, everybody's got a smartphone these days. You don't have to have something sent to you or shipped to you. And I've heard from other people who've been selling like these stick-on things or whatever, that they have problems shipping them to some countries because the customs sort of stop them. Whereas here, this is an app. You load it on your phone, you can use it today. Nothing has to be shipped to you.
I love it. Thank you very much for sharing it.
You're welcome. So, who's that? Are you doing this, Billy, or who's next? His microphone's off. You can't hear them. Okay, let's go to
Julie Horton. I'm sorry, Julie
Horton. Okay.
Hi, I'm back again.
Hi.
So I was able to download the app. I put in my credit card information. It took it. I got a confirmation email, but I guess where's the app? It didn't download on my phone.
Okay, if you go back to the hydrationapp.com website, you will find under support instructions on how to install it on your phone. It gives you detailed instructions.
Okay, so it says app.sell-wellbeing.com. Is that where I'm supposed to do, or am I supposed to go back?
You go to hydration-app.com, go
Okay,
to support, and under support you'll see Android or iOS phone, and then you will find full installation instructions.
Okay, I
With
got
pictures.
it. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Okay,
Thank
thanks.
you. All right. That's it, Peter. We got him. All right. So, any final thoughts on today?
Well, I think we're in a wonderful time at the moment where the world is on the verge of changing to the better. And it's very exciting, the intel we're getting. And it could be that April is the month we've been waiting for. I don't know when it'll be ideal for us. It could be to the end of April, till we get what we might. I don't know. We're going to have to find out.
Well, remember when Trump said Easter is our timeline?
Yes.
Easter is next week.
So maybe it's next week.
Okay. Easter is 1 week.
Certainly, a lot of people are
Sunday.
talking about the 4th of April.
Mm-hmm.
And so it could be that things go very quickly now.
Yes, exactly. All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up for us. We'll post more on on our channels and in the forum. And Peter, people were asking if you're going to put that as a topic in the forum.
Yes,
as far as the
I will do.
hydration
I will do.
app.
I'll
All
open
right,
up
put
a
that
section
as a topic
on
in
the
there.
hydration app. I will do that.
Okay, and we'll also post it on our Telegram channels. But hey, folks, thank you for coming and being a part of everything. Leaving you all with a little bit of music, but thank you.
Wait.
Right, Maddie wants to say something.
Wait,
All right, Maddie.
It's Maddie. Can you please post that what you were reading earlier today, that article or that document that you were reading earlier today, Peter? Can you post that?
Which article are you referring to?
I don't know, because I was a little bit late getting on the call.
Right.
But
Right.
whatever you were reading right before you switched over to the glasses thing.
All right. Well,
All
we'll
right,
have the
okay,
recording. We'll have the recording.
We'll have the recording, and I'll go through that, and I'll work out what you're talking about, and I'll post it.
All right.
Okay, thank you. God bless
All
y'all.
right.
Thank you both so much.
Okay, you're
All right,
welcome.
Thank you very much.
Peter.
Yes.
All right.
Billy. Thank you.
Bye.
All right,
I
thank
hope you
you
enjoyed
all.
the special today.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
All
Love
right,
you
hi,
all.
Barbara.
I hope I blew your mind.
Rick Hardy, I see you. All right, Stella. Goodbye, Stella.
Everybody.
All right, Janice Wolf, I see you there, Janice.
Bye.
All right, Nick, thank you.
Bye, Billy.
All right.
Love you.
Bye.
You.
Goodbye, all.
All right, Danny, good to see you. Good to see you.
Bye-bye, guys.
All right.
Bye,
I see Jerry Chang. Hey, Jerry. All right. Craig. Hi, Craig.
Hey, Bill.
All right. Kanishi, thank you again. All right. Heather.
Good job, guys.
All right, thank you. Marcia.
See ya.
Debbie Hubachek.
Everybody.
All right.
Hello.
We'll see you, Stephen. I see you there.
Bye.
Eileen.
As you say in Germany, auf Wiedersehen.
Lou Hibble one. I see you there.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Well, Wiedersehen is more formal. Schuss is more informal.
Cheers.
Yes.
Bye, Billy.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Stopping the recording.
See you, Billy.
Thank you, Peter, Billy.
You're welcome.
Recording stopped.
All right, and we are out on the dark side of the moon. It's a show term, folks. Dark side of the moon, we're gone.
Okay, bye.
Pink Floyd. See ya.
Enjoy your afternoon.